Competitive gaming, an entertaining and fun way to watch your favorite video games. And seeing the best of the best players in the world competing at the highest level is one of the coolest video game related things to watch. Many multiplayer games these days have a ranked mode, and all of us can easily get a taste of that satisfying victory, that adrenaline rush of climbing the leaderboard to reach that beautiful rank telling us that we are worth something in this game. The three main multiplayer games I play have ranked modes: Apex Legends, League of Legends, Rocket League. How come every game I play either have the word legend or league in the title? I don't really know, but I do know one thing. As a League of Legends challenger player myself, I know that satisfaction of achieving a certain level in ranked. And achieving this high prestigious rank in League of Legends has significantly improved my life. How was that? Am I a good actor? Did you guys buy that? You want to know the truth? I think ranked mode is really overrated, and people who use ranked as the only way to measure someone's skills in a video game are very unwise to only judge in one category of something. I've seen people become so obsessed with ranked, to the point where players, instead of playing with their friends that are inviting them to join them, skip out on maintaining the friendship, just to achieve a certain rank in a video game. I've seen people become angry through ranked, so angry that some of them go to the point of breaking things, breaking in real life objects due to the rage in a video game, or letting their emotions from an online ranked game leak into the real world and take out their frustrations on people that had nothing to even do with the game. People are brainwashed by the value of rank. Now, bold thing for a challenger player like myself to say, right? At the end of the day, people grinding ranked, they just control pixels against other people who are controlling pixels, to ultimately get an icon that is made with pixels. These ranked icons are nothing. They're not valuable at all. This challenger icon is so invaluable that it is not even real. I photoshopped this image. I'm not actually challenger. In reality, I am gold. At least in the past I have been. It's so easy to fake an object when that object is not a real-world entity. If you're watching this thinking Tournament King's opinion on ranked no longer matters because he is not high-ranked, then you are the exact person I'm trying to talk to. The people who only view ranked as the only way to measure skills in video games, and also the fact that an icon decides the value of someone's opinion. This is the type of people I'm trying to speak to. In this video, I'm going to break down why I think ranked is a terrible way to measure someone's skills. I'm going to show how game companies make it difficult to climb just to maintain people playing ranked, and basically break down why I think ranked is not worth playing, period. Now, if you genuinely have fun with ranked, then I do not judge you. That's fine if you enjoy that side of gaming. But there are players out there who value ranked mode way too much, to the point that they invest an absurd amount of emotions and time into it. And I want to explain why that value is not worth the emotional investment as well as the time investment. Also, once I break down the reasons why I don't think ranked is worth grinding, I will show you literal video evidence of an Iron player, which is the lowest ranking player in League of Legends, outplaying a Masters player, which is very high ranking in League of Legends, top like 3% or something like that. I'll show you video evidence of an actual tournament of these players competing, and prove that someone's high rank is not definite proof that a player is better. One big reason rank doesn't matter is because the average rank experience does not reflect an actual competitive event. Many people are going to hit diamond in whatever game you can think of, but not everyone is going to become a world champion, or more realistically, a small amateur tournament winner. Unless you are in the top 1% in ranked modes, no one is going to know who you are. Therefore, you can anonymously do a lot of in-game strats that people might not know that you are going to do. You can get away with a lot more strange tactics with anonymous gameplay. But in real competitive events, where people can research you, they will either ban your character from being played, or they'll come up with a whole strategy to counter what you do. If you reach a certain rank using a certain character or a certain in-game tactic, but then someone removes that tactic or character as an option for you, are you really deserving of that rank? I host League of Legends tournaments. I have seen many players from many different ranks. The best players are not the people who achieve a certain rank. The best players are the players who are most adaptable. The players that can have 5 of their characters banned and still dominate a match, those are the good players. The people that play one character though, or have one cheesy strat they use for each game anonymously, usually aren't very consistent with their performance in a more serious event. Since you can be so anonymous during ranked games, ranked modes gives you the perception that you are outsmarting your opponent, and most games do not allow you to replay an opponent. Therefore, your opponent can adapt to a certain playstyle and gain the upper hand, meaning that one and done game doesn't really feel fair in the overall scheme of things. Ranked encourages very poor behavior of team synergy. Most games put you together with a group of people that you do not know. From my experience, most people don't even talk in voice comms. I've never heard people talk in Rocket League. I rarely hear people talk in Apex Legends, and usually when they do talk, more often than not it is to flame you and not actually give you good communication on where the enemy is. And League of Legends doesn't even have a voice chat option. If you go to the effort of sending a Discord link in your League of Legends chat, most of the time players do not even join, or they join but rarely talk, which is crazy to me because of how much synergy teams need to have in League of Legends. Because of the lack of team synergy, whenever you enter an actual event where people are on voice comms, communicating together, working as a team, most players, even high-ranking players, typically don't do well in those types of environments because they do not have much practice playing as a team, only playing as a solo player. Ranked in team games does not feel like a team game most of the time. More often than not, random people won't try to work together to get the job done, but they sure will blame each other for failing the job. Ranked resets and how no one is the rank they actually deserve. Even if you disagree with this, even if you have amazing teammates and always have great coordination and synergy, the amount of time to grind ranked takes too long. That most people just don't have time to grind it out. Most video games, ranked rewards players for their time rather than their skill investment. Let's create an example. Imagine there was a player named Billy, and 4 years ago Billy was single, unemployed, and he reached Masters for whatever game you can think of. But now imagine Billy today, 4 years later. Billy is now married, he has a kid, and he works a 9-to-5 job. There's still a chance that Billy might have the skills to be a Masters player, or at the very least maybe slightly below that rank, but when you have a job and a family you are raising, you're not going to have time to play ranked game modes as much. The problem is that games such as League of Legends, Brawlhalla, Rocket League, Apex Legends all have ranked resets. When there's new season, split, whatever timeline/word they use, there's usually a ranked reset. Meaning if you do not play enough ranked, whether you deserve it or not, you're slowly going to get lower and lower rank. A lot of people who grind ranked are not trying to climb above their rank, they're just trying to get back to where they were previously on their ranked before their ranked reset. I can only assume that games have done studies on how to maintain a player base, and a lot of people value saying they are ranked XYZ in said video game. Therefore, game companies may do resets to encourage people to climb and play. No one wants to be stuck in the same rank, so game companies might do resets to psychologically encourage players to play ranked again. So many players, such as Billy, may have their account be demoted simply because of lack of time. If a player, such as Billy, had more time to grind, who's to say that Billy can't get back to their highest skill level? Which means regardless of the level that you are facing in a ranked match, you could be facing a player who might be way better than their actual rank. If you are low rank, you are probably going to be blindsided by this random player named Billy because Billy is unusually good. No matter the rank, you should never let your guard down against an opponent based off of rank. And that leads me to my next point in how games never tell you the full story. Players like Billy makes ranked games complicated. If Billy's rank gets reset to a much lower rank due to his lack of time to play the video game, and you have a new player who is silver who faces Billy, then the new silver player is probably going to get destroyed, which the silver player facing Billy might get tilted. Or the new silver players might get annoyed because someone on the enemy team is destroying their teammate, which leads to teammates flaming the struggling player, which results in a tilted mentality, which results in not a fair game. Now we cannot blame Billy, the former Masters player, for playing on his main account that got demoted. Billy did not design the rank system, but there are people out there who go out of their way to make new accounts and try their hardest to obliterate lower ranking players. This is called smurfing, and a lot of games do not know how to handle smurfs. If someone gets destroyed by an anonymous smurf, then that is not a fair ranked experience. There are people out there who legitimately cheat. Apex Legends is known quite a bit for having cheating issues. If you lose to a player that is legitimately cheating, that is not a fair ranked experience. And there are people who legit have emotional problems that can't keep a calm head and intentionally give up on games. I had 2 League of Legends ranked games in a row last year where my teammates literally just stopped trying. But now those ranked games make my rank look lower, which also does not show a fair display of what my actual rank and skill is. Ranked gives the illusion that it is a fair matchup against your opponent, and that your opponent is the same level as you, when in reality there could be many factors that are not fair. And even if the matchmaking is 100% legit and fair, and you and your opponent are at the exact same skill level, all it takes is one player deciding to give up on the game. I'm sure all of us have played a game where a teammate stopped trying or the enemy stopped trying. which means that is not 100% reflective of an individual player's skill. But you sit there, grind ranked for a ton of hours. You suffer through the ranked resets, the trolls, the smurfs, the cheaters, and finally, through all the struggles, you get your rank. Hopefully this part does not apply to you, but a lot of players get ego because of their rank, and then look down among the people that have a lower ranked pixelated icon than what they have. There are players out there who might be just as good as you, but simply invest their skills in different ways. Someone could be a high-level ranked player, but they just hate ranked, so they only play normal/pub games, therefore have no pixels indicating their skill. But they might have a similar amount of games played as a ranked player, and they might even be better than that ranked player. As I stated previously, I host League of Legends tournaments, and there's a game mode called ARAM, aka All Random, All Mid, where you queue up, you get random characters, and you fight in one lane. ARAM is not a competitive mode. It does not have a ranked game option. And since characters are all randomly generated, there is an element of RNG. However, I still host ARAM tournaments, and there's a team called Aramatures. If you look up one of the players' OP.GGs, their ARAM win rate is shocking. Here's an example of their OP.GG. I legit think these guys are some of the best ARAM players in the North American server. Now, who's to say that if we were to make a team of 5 standard ranked League of Legends players, and their opponent was Aramatures, and they played on the Summoner's Rift map, which is the only ranked map in League of Legends, who's to say that Aramatures wouldn't be able to compete at all? My theory on Aramatures competing in different mode is since they usually are used to playing random characters, you couldn't ban anything against them because they play so many different things. And I think Aramatures would probably have a below average gameplay during laning phase, but I would bet in teamfights they would be an incredible teamfighting team because in ARAM, all you pretty much do is teamfight. So while someone might have a high ego because of their ranked, there's always someone out there grinding away, just not at ranked. You may never know how good you are until you actually beat players from each nook and cranny of a gaming community. The final proof that rank doesn't matter. So here we are, the final proof that rank does not matter. If you have heard what I said and seriously think that ranked is the only way to measure someone's skills in a video game, I have video evidence proving that rank does not matter. I hosted a League of Legends tournament where everyone was required to register as a solo player. I tried to balance each team to be an overall similar rank. And for this tournament, we had 20 players split up into 4 teams, and I made sure that each team and friend was separated, so friends were not put on the same team. They all competed against each other, meaning that every player on each team did not really know one another. One team had a bronze player named Potato Sack. You may pause and read the text document to see all the players' ranks. But you may notice that Potato Sack is statistically the worst player in the whole tournament. However, his team ended up winning every single game they played, and Potato Sack helped with every single victory. If there are people out there saying, well, he got carried by his high-ranked teammates, okay, but Potato Sack, the bronze player, still needed to lane against an emerald player and 2 diamonds. I legit think Potato Sack played very well in this tournament. But even if we say his team carried him, getting carried by your team is an underrated skill people don't talk about. So many players feel the need to be the main character and make that superhero play. So if you really think Potato Sack got carried, then it still shows a level of skill for the statistically worst player on how to be carried. Another example. I hosted another League of Legends Best of 3 tournament where everyone was required to register as a solo player. We got 10 players, and I tried my best to balance each team to be an overall similar rank. But out of the 10 players who registered, we literally had the player from the highest rank compete and a player from the lowest rank compete. So the bot lane matchups was a player named Tree Huger, which was a Diamond ADC, which was his main role, and Big B Tiger, which was a Masters player who played support, and support was his 3rd preferred role. On the opposite side, to make it fair, Aurora Flare was a Platinum player who also played his 3rd preferred role to match Big Bleed's Tiger's 3rd preferred role. And Aurora's Flare's 3rd preferred role was ADC, and we had Zombie Smurf, who's the main person we're going to be talking about. Zombie Smurf was an Iron player playing support. So the bot lane was a Platinum and Iron player versus a Diamond and Masters player. The statistical skill gap was massive. Most players, including myself, the literal organizer of the event, legitimately thought there is no way that this lower level bot lane will do well. The first game, the lower elo bot lane got destroyed. Zombie Smurf looked completely outclassed, which, who could blame him? He's an Iron player versus a Masters player. If you are Masters in League, you're better than 97% of the player base. After the low elo bot lane got destroyed in the first game, I thought that the bot lane was doomed for the rest of the Best of 3 tournament. The second match started. The lower elo side switched up their comp, and they actually looked fairly decent against the higher elo bot lane, and their team ended up winning the second game. Then the third game rolled around, the final game to decide the Best of 3. The low elo bot laners played incredibly well. Zone items, level 14 upgrades, one of his allies. Try knock up launch onto Zombie Smurf. Ultimate follows up by Philius. He has red-white, which means don't fight if you're on the red team, but this fight isn't looking too bad. Auroraflare doing a good job kiting, making sure he's actually clicking accurately, and he is. Auroraflare takes down Tree, and then Zombie Smurf with a great flash dodging the Recon engage, and a double kill on Auroraflare. This is the first time, I think, in this entire tournament that Auroraflare and Zombie Smurf has actually won a 2v2 against their laning opponents. These look like completely different bot laners. Well played to them. This Iron player ended up winning the best of 3 tournament, with a teammate who is lower ranking than both of the players. And Zombie Smurf win against players who are 5 tiers above him. If ranked really was the 100% factor, ranked was the almighty proof that someone is better, then this victory should have never happened. And if you think they only won because they had a challenger player that was placed on their team, the challenger player in the final game to decide the champion event played the worst of the team. The challenger player did not play that well in the final match, so that theory that the Iron player got carried by that challenger player is thrown out the window. So there it is, my thoughts and proof on why ranked doesn't matter. Ranked is just a conglomerate of pixels that displays someone's ranked. It is not a fair way to judge someone's skill, because ranked does not reflect a real competitive experience. And being that anonymous plays a huge factor in being successful within your games. Ranked also does not teach a player how to play as a team properly, which is quite bad considering how many video games these days requires a bunch of team synergy. Now, with all that being said, I do think ranked still explains someone's skill, and it is a big factor. I just think people use ranked as a main way to measure someone's skills of a player is wrong. And I also think the sacrifice of time and emotions grinding over some pixels is not worth the time you could be spending with your family or friends while still playing that video game that you enjoy. So before you queue up for another ranked game, really ask yourself, is this ranked game worth it?